Hello, everybody. All right, so it is pretty late. It's about 9:30 at night, and I am in the hatching room, and we just got back from town because Nate finished the floors. Yes, the floors are finished, y'all. And so I took him to a celebration dinner and told him I'd take him on a date night, but he said he actually didn't need to go to Lowe's, which was a little surprising. So we had dinner, we just got home, had a very late dinner, and there's a couple things I need to do here in the hatching room, and Nate wanted to start editing the video of the floors so that we can get something out on the Kraemer Life and y'all can see it. He did ask that I don't show it, so I'm sorry, we have to wait. But I thought I would show y'all something perhaps that you've never seen before, or for those of you who are interested, I'm gonna show you what it's like to put eggs in lockdown if you're doing eggs in the incubator, and I'll chat with y'all while I'm doing this. And then I'm also going to be loading eggs into the big incubator. So when you're incubating eggs, basically what happens is chicken eggs are 21 days. And so I put these eggs into the incubator on the 5th of April. And so if you just very easily count down 1, 2, 3, so they are supposed to hatch in 2 days. So I just do 3 weeks from the day I put them in, or 3 weeks from the day I put them in, and then I go ahead and put them into lockdown. What lockdown means is it means that you no longer want them to turn. So depending on what your unit looks like, you can either take out your egg turner or you can pause your egg turner. This unit, unfortunately, you have to take apart and remove all the eggs and remove the egg turner and then put them back in. So I always have, because I sell eggs, I always have extra containers. So for this, I'm just gonna quickly set them all in here. And one of the things I like to do is, and what most people who incubate are going to do, is they're going to also candle their eggs before lockdown and take out anything that may have passed away, unfortunately, early, or for some reason, if you have something that went wrong, there's no movement, there's no development, you maybe missed one early on in the process. And this is only supposed to be a 24 egg. I filled it a little full because I had a lot of pullet orders that hatched a week ago, and so I wanted to make sure I had extra chicks that hatched. And I know I mentioned on the last video that I had a very unfortunate hatch this last time, and I had several eggs that didn't end up hatching, so I'm glad I did an extra order, or an extra incubator. So you just pull the little turner out, and it's usually very, very simple. And then we're gonna do this in the dark so y'all can actually see it, and I can see it better, because basically what you're doing is you're looking in here and you're looking to make sure there's development and movement. And I don't think that you guys are gonna be able to see it very well if I don't turn off the lights. So I just wanna be able to show you. So give me 1 second, bear with the dark, and it won't be pitch black. I'll just turn off, maybe it will be. We'll go pitch black. All right, so this is typically when I'm in here at night. This is what it looks like. So I'm gonna move you guys down so you can look at the eggs. I know, look at the cinematography. I'm so crafty. All right, so basically I've got this little this little flashlight. It's an egg. And basically what you wanna look at is you're looking here and you're making sure that the air pocket is good, and it should be getting smaller as you go. And this is a good sign. You can't see anything through it. That means the chick is in there and is developed. Sometimes if you're lucky, you'll actually be able to see movement inside the egg. But basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna set the egg back inside the brooder over here. Sorry, inside the incubator over here. And we're just gonna check. So like this one, oh, I don't know if you guys saw that. You see a little bit. This air pocket is a lot bigger, which means the chick is not as far along or not as developed as the first one that we looked at. It doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, but this is more what you want to see. And sometimes if you look long enough, you'll be able to see some movement. I keep doing the bottoms, and the reason I do the bottoms is if you see what appears to be an egg pocket in the bottom, it's very likely that the chick stopped developing and that it's not gonna hatch. So this is what I do basically I do this twice an incubation. I do it at usually day 8 or day 9, and I check to make sure that there's veining and development, and then I do this at lockdown. So I'm gonna finish and do this to all the rest of them, but we don't need to watch all of those. I do want to show you all what the geese eggs look like. So the goose eggs have been, so this one has been in there since the 30th, since the 1st of April. So we're getting pretty close on hatch date on this one as well. This one is coming along pretty good. I want to grab one that hasn't been in quite as long. Let's see if I have, this one has a date on it. So this one doesn't have a date on it. See if you guys can see. So this one doesn't look like it's got a lot of development. I don't really see much growth in here. So not really what I want to show. Let's see if I can find another one. Oh, this is another older one. So this one's got a lot more development in there, as you can see, in the air sacs getting smaller and smaller, which is great. Let's see. This is another older one. So same thing, air sac. Let's see if I can find a newer one. 4.3. Okay. Oh, actually, I must have put them in 4.5. So they're a week away. So this is another one. You can see a little bit. I don't know if you can see right here. You can see the development right in this little section right here. You can see, I can see the veining, but it's not super apparent, unfortunately. I was hoping you'd be able to see that. Let me see if I can see a different one. All right, I'm gonna take one out of the big incubator. See if I can show you. Because I know these are newer ones. Oh man, it's crazy. I was looking at these earlier today and I could see them perfectly, and I was like, oh, that would be so cool to share. Haha, just kidding. Can't see anything. Sorry, folks. I thought this would actually be entertaining. There we go. This one you can see a little better. I wonder if it's the red lights why you can't see it, but all of this, so right in here, right here where my finger is, this is where all the veining is. I don't know if you guys can see that or not with the shadowing. But there's all this veining down in here, so it's just starting to develop. But I can see it all through there. Hopefully the camera picks it up. If not, I apologize. So I'm going to turn the lights back on so y'all can see what I'm doing. So we've got a very, very busy chick season, as you all are aware. So I've got these geese eggs, and there's 2 different batches in here. There's a batch that's ready to hatch in about a week, and there's another batch that I put in a little later. So those ones, I'm gonna pull the ones that aren't marked, and they're gonna end up getting moved into this big incubator, and along with these ones that are marked. And the dates are marked, like you can see that one says 4/8, or 18, excuse me, and then there's some that say 4/20, and that's when they were collected. So I'm gonna have a tray of geese eggs that I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna have 2 trays of chicken eggs. Here's my other tray, and those are for customer orders. The geese are also for customer orders. And then these I'm gonna go ahead and put down into lockdown, and I remove the tray, and I'm gonna candle them all and make sure that everyone's good and viable. So tomorrow I have off, which is exciting. I'm happy to have the day off. I'm gonna start, I think, working on the tile in the master bathroom. I don't know if you all remember, but we got a peel and stick, so it should be pretty easy. Nate just told me I had to make sure that I was completely level on my first strip. So as long as I'm level, he's okay with me doing it. I'm sure he will be in to check my work, because I don't know if you all have noticed, but he likes his stuff level. So we will be getting started on that. I'm not sure what he's gonna work on next. We kind of talked about it at dinner. See this one, it's got a huge air pocket, so this one doesn't seem like it's quite as far along, so that one makes me a little nervous, but they've still got 3 days, and it's amazing how much they can grow in 3 days. So we kind of talked about whether or not we want to do the floors. I'm sorry, not the floors, the baseboards or the trim, but then we decided, well, we really should put the doors in first, and then we decide, you know, we're talking through, do we want to do the what is it, the beam, that's the word I was looking for. So the beam, and then whether or not we want to do that, and then if we want to do the beam next, then, or if we want to do the electrical. So we kind of talked through doing, I would go ahead and start in on the tile in the master, because I can do that and we already have the product. And then maybe we would start looking at the beam and staining the beam and getting that started as well. We just want to continue the momentum now that the floors are done. It's kind of a big push to get the rest of everything done. So we're just really excited to hit this milestone. It's been a long time coming, y'all. It's been a long time coming. So let us know if you have any questions on anything. Like I said, Nate's working on editing the video, so hopefully we'll have a video coming out shortly with him finishing the floors, and kind of, I'm sure he'll talk through some of the work that he did and some of those tricky spots, kind of as a helpful, but it should be mostly just a milestone completion, which is great. And then we're really, really hoping that we'll be in before summer, or before the weather gets really crazy hot, because it's been so nice to be in there. We've got, you know, AC going, and it feels so nice in the house. So it would just be wonderful to actually be able to get out of that RV and not spend another hot summer. It doesn't have the same meaning as hot girl summer anymore, when it's like literally because you're just sweating and horribly uncomfortable. Not the kind of hot girl summer I'm looking for. Yeah, so we are making progress, making strides, continuing to process through everything. Thanks again to Two Turtles for giving us this tomato plants. That makes me feel a lot better, like we actually might have something this year. I was talking to Nate, and we're just going to go ahead and direct sow into the ground instead of do pre-starts, because it's already, you know, getting late into April and we should be safe. So I think one of our next projects obviously besides the house, weather permitting. It's supposed to rain the next 3 days, so we'll spend the next 3 days in the house. But once we can get back outside, gonna tear up that little garden area and then kind of plot out where all the garden beds are gonna go. And then that way I can start getting the tractor to get the compost and bringing it over so I can fill up the garden beds after I build those. So still have a few projects there, and then we have a couple sponsorship videos that'll be coming on the Kraemer Life. We're super excited because as you all know, it is a very good source of income for us. So we have some products that we hope you all will like, but it's definitely stuff that we're gonna find useful or things that we need around the homestead or inside the house. So we'll be doing some videos back and forth between the inside of the house and the outside of the house, and hopefully we'll start working on the bedroom. That's probably going to be the first room that we finish. I know some of you have asked if I was going to move into the office now that the office was completely done, but not while Nate's still working on the house. It's really nice for me to be able to be on speakerphone and not have to wear a headset and just do it in the RV. But if I was in the house with him pounding and banging and still installing stuff, it's still pretty loud. So no, I'm gonna wait. I'll probably wait to move into the office until we're officially moving in. And then I think, you know, once we get the electrical outlets and all of that done and the bathrooms completely installed and the doors in, trim and all of that, then it's going to be the furniture, and then it's going to be moving in. So I see the light at the end of the very long tunnel. We're getting there. We're so excited. We're getting there. Yeah, it's just been such a long time coming. So I think that next will be kind of projects and outdoor projects and garden stuff. So that's really exciting, I think, for us to be able to get to that next step. But yeah, so if you all are curious on the actual me putting chicks in the brooder, or I keep saying brooder, eggs into the incubator, basically these little trays and these guys, they're universal trays. Oops, I guess you're looking at me, you're not looking down, sorry. Apologies. But these are great because you can put them, and I found that 4 spaces apart work really well for most of our eggs, except for our little guy eggs. And what I do is I take orders throughout, you know, however, most of these orders came in for this batch came in March and April. Some just came in, like even today I got a new order and I hadn't put them in the incubator yet, so I was like, sure, I'll collect eggs and, you know, we'll let you know if I can get them. And so what I do with all of them is I mark the egg with what breed it is so that I know what it is. And these are all my Easter eggers. And then I go ahead and, you know, fill up the incubator accordingly. And depending if I do straight run or if I do pullets, will depend how many extra of each of the each of the breeds I put in. For example, if I have an order for, you know, 10 Easter eggers and they're straight run, I might only put in 12 to 15 eggs. But if I have an order for 10 Easter eggers and they're all pullets, I'll likely put in 24 to 26 eggs. So that's kind of how the math works out with a lot of these. And so this time around, I actually had a lot of people request our barnyard mix, which is Duke and our, you know, OG flock, which is kind of, it's kind of fun and it's kind of crazy because, you know, they're just a mixed chicken, but they're really good egg layers and they're really good foragers. So we really like them. They're our main egg laying group. So it's kind of fun that people requested them and we have some hatches for those. So I like to put in a mixture. So these are all our barnyard mix, and it's a bunch of different hens, because I like to get a little bit of a variety going. And then every once in a while you'll notice I forget to mark one, but I'm really good about putting them in a certain order inside the trays. So I'll usually mark, like, for example, this one's marked but this one isn't, this one isn't, but the next one is. So I know that these are all the same breed because that's how I put them into the trays when I'm collecting. So it just makes my life a little bit easier. So since Nate's going to be home alone when these are hatching, I need to make sure they're very well marked for him. But the other thing I'm going to do is when I put them into lockdown, like this batch that I just did, I'll actually end up putting them in bags by breed. So he won't even have to really, he'll look at one egg and know that everything in that entire bag is the same breed. So I try to make it as easy as possible for him. So hope y'all have a great night. I'm just gonna continue working on this and hopefully get started with the finishing parts of the house now that the floors are in. So take care, have a great week. I guess Friday, I think it'll be Friday, yeah, tomorrow's Friday. Have a wonderful Friday and we'll chat with y'all tomorrow. Take care, bye.